and with the judge and his army, and then as Isaac was reaching the top of the tower with the fucking crazy Christian guy and everything. And I was like, okay, hold on. Someone's gonna orgasm, but it's not gonna be Alucard.
I'm kind of hoping they do a match shot.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Anime Summit podcast, and with me, as always, is Danny.
What the fuck is toilet paper?
And Nick.
What the fuck is Lysol?
And of course, I'm Sam the Bomb. Welcome to another episode of Anime Summit. Man, we are in some scary times, and I just want to say that we're going to be recording some extra content for y'all while we're all isolating. So don't you worry about that. And also, I realized that I forgot to upload last week's episode to YouTube, so my bad. I will do that immediately. I know, I fucking forgot. I'm sorry. But yeah. So don't you worry. It'll be up there along with some extra content, alright? But this week, we're going to talk about Castlevania Season 3. Of course, keeping in tradition with the reviewing the other two Netflix series, the first two seasons of Castlevania. You know what? Initial thoughts? I thought it was a little goofy. I thought it was a little weird, but I think we kind of predicted that. I should have gone back and listened to our Season 2 review of it.
We kind of wanted to rewatch the whole thing, but we ran short on time.
I got to rewatch the entire thing.
Well, good, Danny. You're gonna be we're leaning on you then.
But yeah, obviously based on the Konami property, the game of the same name, and we'll talk about that more later on, obviously. But yeah, this came out just like a couple weeks ago, so
right before my birthday.
But yeah, no. So we'll get into that later. We'll get into what's up with Trevor and Sypha and Alucard a little bit later in the app. But first of all, let's just take a small break right here. I have to go take a poop. Ooh, that was a quick poop. You know why? Because I got a bucket right under my
Ew.
Squatty potty.
Squatty potty.
I have one.
Y'all should get a squatty potty. Let's see if they'll sponsor us. Instead of doing Dollar Shave Club and Sherry's Berries, we'll just start doing Squatty Potty.
Peepo Poo Poo.
Peepo Poo Poo.
Help you poops come out smoother.
Kaka Pee Poo 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 Shire. Brought to you, this is Anime Summit Podcast is brought to you by Kaka Pee Poo Poo Shire. Links.animesummit.net. You can find out everything right there. The Patreon link is on there, but that's okay. You just go to patreon.com/anime summit. And shout out to the new patron, Tyler K. What's up?
Ayo.
Ayo.
Welcome to the fold.
Yeah, so if you become a patron, you get exclusive stuff, and you'll get the episodes as soon as they're done being released, and all kinds of goodies before everyone else. Exclusive Discord channel to talk shit about everyone else who's not a patron. I find that quite fun. Be like, oh man, what do you think of so-and-so in the Discord? Now, what a jackass, huh? But shout out to Tyler K. Thank you so much. I know you guys are probably going to wonder too, like, I've had a couple people say, Sam, first of all, you're beautiful. Well, thank you. Second of all, when's the decade upcoming? Look, because of otherworldly things, some things got pushed back.
Force majeure. Force majeure. We had to delay it.
Danny had to go to the bathroom, so that took a while. We fired Smokey, and then he kind of fumbled on the paperwork, and
billionth time.
So I had to rehire him so he could tell me where all the paperwork was because he hid it when he left. And then I fired him again. So currently he's not in the office. I told him, turn in your gun and badge. Okay. Told him the fuck out of here. But no, it's coming. It's coming very soon, actually. So soon, in fact, that
should be right after this episode.
Okay, I wasn't trying to, I was trying to.
Okay.
You ruined
it. Did I
it
spoil it? Okay.
Nope, leave it. Forget it. Nope!
We needed more time to prepare. We were going to do this after the decade anyway, but whatever. I mean, we just flip-flopped them, so.
Yeah, we just flip-flopped around. No, they're coming soon, though. I guarantee you. But yes. So thank you so much for listening. Also, be really hyped. Get hyped for that, okay? Let the people know that that's when it's coming. It's coming soon, okay?
We should let's set get up into some listener polls, like what were their favorites.
And I've pinned a couple actually too. I've pinned a couple.
Yeah, we give some shout outs on the pod.
Decade lists.
Hashtag planning on the podcast.
Hashtag planning on the podcast. Listener question of the week comes from patron Jeremy Thunderstrike. Shout out to Jeremy. If you could have an anime villain spin-off movie or series, which villain would you choose? My answer would be the origin for Toguro, the Toguro brothers from Yu Yu Hakusho.
That's a good one.
That's a good question. Ooh.
Oh, man. So that was his answer, not yours, right?
That was his answer. He said my answer would be
what a coincidence. That was also mine. Next question.
What a coincidence.
I think I would want like a spin-off for Queen Beryl from Sailor Moon.
Oh, the first arc. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's actually the only arc I've fully finished, or like the first 70 episodes.
How sad of you.
How sad of you.
Still one of the best anime.
Sailor Moon? Hell yeah, dude. I would love to see two things. And these answers, I guess, are kind of typical to Danny's and Nick's or whatever. But I would love to see... It would be cool. So, like, in Dragon Ball Z, in the Buu saga, they, like, quickly show, like, when he becomes Kid Buu, and you find out that was actually his original form. And it like shows him how he is fighting all the Grand Supreme Kais and how he swallowed the big fat one, and that's how he became the Fat Buu or whatever. I would love to see the origin of Kid Buu, like why Babbidi's father Bibbidi summoned him or created him or whatever.
Oh, yeah. That'd be kind of cool.
All of that shit. Yeah, I would love to see that. And then the ending would be when he became fat and then he got sealed away or whatever. Like, that would be sweet. Or I would love to see a Card Captors thing where Clow Reed became the master of the Clow cards. Well, he created them, right?
Yeah, he did.
So he created them. I would love to see like the story of him learning to become like a...
But he's not really a villain, though.
Oh, that's true.
Can't really
he's really
consider
not.
Clow a
That's
villain.
true. He's not.
But I do. That would be honestly. But that would be an interesting spin-off for Card Captors. Is like the origin story of Clow. So.
That would be cool. Yeah. But yeah, that or the Majin Buu thing, the Kid Buu thing. What about you, Nick? Or were you legit saying that Toguro?
Oh no, I was scrolling through my list. There's a lot of my shows have like the villains aren't really that well defined.
Big baddies. Big baddies.
Yeah. Wow, this is kind of tough, actually.
That is a good question.
I don't have an answer right. Oh, what about Trigun? How about like some of the, just like pick any villain from Trigun and just I want to see their story.
Knives.
Well, no,
you
pick any of
story,
the side villains, like the one-off episodes,
like Legato or whatever.
Yeah.
That's
I want to see that. What do you mean that's boring?
I guess you kind of know some of his story. No, that'd be cool though, because some of those villains were hardcore, dude. Some of those guys were hardcore.
Yeah. And you can also do the same thing for like Cowboy Bebop or Space Stand. Any like episodic show, just pick a character.
You could do that for sure. What if they made a whole Cowboy Bebop movie where it was just like when Spike and Vicious rolled together and like, because I know they show some of it and they explain some of it, right? Like obviously they explain enough for the story.
Part of it is the mystery, though.
Oh, that's true.
It would turn into a Fooly Cooly. I mean, there's a way they could do it right, but I wouldn't trust them.
Yeah.
It's
Leave
just
it the way it is. We don't need it.
That's part of what makes it good.
Good point. All right, let's get into it, dude. Waifu and Husbando. Waifu is Lenore.
Best girl.
Step on me, mommy.
Hottest vampire.
She's the vampire sister with the long red hair and the big white coat, yeah. She's the one who talks to Hector.
She's the diplomat.
Yeah. She's the diplomat is what she says. Yeah, she's the one who goes down and talks to Hector and then does it with him.
And then he goes down on her.
Oh, hell yeah.
There was a lot of sex in this season.
And then Husbando is Hector because he's hot, and
Plus,
also
he's like
he gets,
kind of her husband.
he gets it with Lenore. Yeah, hell yeah, they do. They are waifu Husbando respectively in this season. So I mean, spoilers, okay, spoilers. So let's do it, right? Castlevania season 3. Ba-da-ba-da. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Ba-da-ba-da. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. Boom-ba-ba-da-da. Boop-ba-ba-doom, boop-ba-ba-doom, ba-ba-ba-da-da-da. Anyway,
Did they play the main theme this season? I don't think they did.
I told Nick, I listened for Castlevania music really hard in this, and I just could not find. There was one scene. I think it was it was the fight at the end at the Priory. Right when the fight starts, they played one of like the Dracula boss themes from one of the games, but I don't remember which one it was. But I know I've heard it before.
Well,
They
yeah,
played so many of
they
them.
didn't play Bloody Tears. That's the one that everybody knows.
That's
There's
the
a
one
lot of
that's
music,
good.
though, right? There's a lot of Castlevania music, so
I know they played.
I'm sure they played character themes, right? Like Isaac.
They
and,
did.
What's his name? Hector and all them.
They did.
But like
and I
it
think,
was kind of low volume for a lot of it.
yeah, there wasn't a lot of stuff from the game in this one, as much as there was with the previous 2 seasons. And we can get into why that is later. But obviously, this was released in 2020, March 5th on Netflix. It's a Netflix-produced, Netflix original. Studios are Frederator Studios, Powerhouse Animation, Shankar Animation, Project 51 Productions, and Mua Film. Directed by Sam and Adam Dietz and Spencer Wan. Written by Warren Ellis. Warren Ellis is cool. He's the guy who wrote the stuff for the Madhouse Studio Marvel anime, like Iron Man and X-Men. Which I've never seen the Iron Man one. I've seen the X-Men one, which is really cool. And music by Trevor Morris, who's also done Dragon Age Inquisition, some other video games. He did the Iron Fist TV show. He's done the Dracula series from 2013, oddly enough. And executive producer, showrunner, Adi Shankar. Adi Shankar was originally a YouTuber, and he is helmed currently as the executive producer for the Assassin's Creed and Devil May Cry Netflix series as well, and the Hyper Light Drifter movie, which I don't think is going to be a Netflix thing. But if you don't know who Adi Shankar is, he did these like short one-shot films, famously known as the Bootleg Universe. Venom, Truth and Journalism, Judge Dredd, Super Fiend, Power / Rangers. If you've ever seen that one's the one that like went super viral a couple years ago, where it had like it was like a dark sequel to the original Power Rangers. It was really cool. A what if movie of like Fred Rogers when he served in the Vietnam War, of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Yeah, that's that guy. So he's the showrunner for Castlevania, all 3 seasons. Does anyone know if this was renewed for a 4th season? I don't know if it was.
I don't think they
haven't announced it, but it will be.
I'm pretty
announced.
sure that it's going to happen.
Yeah, given how it ended or whatever.
Although
yeah,
it may
for
be
sure.
delayed with the world on fucking fire right now.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, the first season was 4 episodes, and then the second season was 8, and this one was 10. So I mean,
Yeah, the 4th
The
season is
number
likely going to have around 10, supposedly.
Keeps increasing.
yeah, I would bet it would have something like around 10.
It's supposedly expected to release sometime in late 2021, but it hasn't been officially revealed. That makes sense.
So, as we discussed before, just a little background before we get into the meat of it. The first 2 seasons are based off of The Curse of Dracula, which is respectively Castlevania 3 on the Nintendo, which follows Trevor Belmont, Sypha Belnades, and Alucard. It's like one of the first games where you could play. It was one of the first Castlevania games where you could play other characters.
Oh yeah,
So
did you have to like beat the game and then you could play the next character?
No, you get them like along the way.
Okay.
Yeah. There's other Castlevania games that does that, but yeah, no. For this one, it was on Nintendo, and you got them kind of along the way, and you could switch. So with Sypha, she could only use limited things, but she could freeze bitches, and you could jump on top of them. And then Alucard, he used his sword like a boss. And then how Alucard was asleep, and then they woke him up. He rebelled against his father because he wanted to kill all humans because of what they did to his wife in the beginning. And basically bring hell on earth, kill everybody, fuck everybody. And Alucard rallied against him along with Trevor Belmont and Sypha, and they killed him. So like the first season could be summed up as basically like the Alucard arc where they find him and wake him up. And basically what happened to Dracula at the beginning. And then the second season could be pretty much like the planning of raiding the castle, finding Dracula, and staking his ass. Is pretty much what that is. And at the end of
that ending was so sad.
It is. It was done really well.
Yeah,
season 2. It was done really good.
Sad. Made me cry.
So, and I know in our last review for season 2, like I said earlier in the episode, I don't remember exactly what we predicted or what we said, but I guess me and Kai were saying you can't really expect him from this point to start going solely based off of the games, because now we're following Trevor and Alucard and whoever, and Hector and Isaac, the Devil Forge Masters that worked for Dracula.
Yeah, and the problem, so Dracula keeps reviving, right? That's kind of what the games are.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
So like,
yeah,
they'd have to fast forward because you can only do it once every 100 years or something.
Depending on
I know very
the
little
ritual.
about Castlevania lore, but
depending on the ritual, yeah. There's been times where Carmilla brought him back 20 years later, you know. So it really depends on what you do for it.
So there's probably going to be a time jump at some point.
Oh, for sure, there has to be. Like especially in the series. The way I want to describe this is, I know me and Kai were kind of saying like if they go purely based on the games, then the next story would be all about Hector and Isaac. Which would be Castlevania Curse of Darkness, where you play Hector in the game. And it was on PlayStation 2. Fun game. Actually a great game. It's fucking sick. But, like, that would be kind of weird, because obviously this is a TV show, and we're following Trevor and Alucard and Sypha, you know? Mm-hmm. So it would probably go into its own, like, thing and be the Netflix timeline, is what you call it. And that is pretty much what we got. Except the way season 3 is presented is so weird, because it's telling 4 different stories at the same time, and you just kind of are following each one.
You have Isaac, you have Hector, Alucard, and then Trevor.
Trevor and Sypha.
Trevor and Sypha in one story.
The same one. Well, there's actually they meet up with the wizard guy. What's his name?
Saint Germain.
The guy with the hat and the
Saint
facial
Germain.
hair.
Yeah, Saint Germain.
Who is played by Bill Nighy.
Nice one. Yeah, Saint Germain is also in Curse of Darkness. You actually fight him, and then he's like, oh, "Okay, I feel you, dog," and then he leaves you with a weapon, and then he dipsets on the homie. But yeah, Saint Germain is in this also, but it's like, so anyway, there's not really a way to like give you a summary of
oh,
season
Bill
3.
Nye, that's the guy in Shaun of the Dead. Dude,
Yeah, Shaun
Love
of the Dead,
Actually,
dude.
and Pirates of the Caribbean.
And
okay.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
And Hitchhikers. Okay.
Where the fuck
I just
have you
derailed
been?
us. I derailed
Nick
it.
is Internet Explorer right now.
Shit.
Well, there's no Mal for Castlevania. They have like their wiki, but it's fucking pain in the ass. So
Nick is Mal's down.
I'm just clicking
Just
through
Nick relies on
Wikipedia,
Mal
like-
the whole time. But yeah. So like, there's and the stories don't like Alucard's story has nothing to do with the other 3.
Yeah.
They're just showing you what he's doing and where he's at, obviously, because
like Hector's and I mean, well, Hector and Isaac's story kind of collide with one another, but like
this whole season is basically set up.
yeah.
All
You haven't
four,
gone through the basic plot yet.
yeah, all 4 stories don't really collide with anyone.
So refresh me again. So Sam, what are all the each group is trying to do something different?
Well, Sypha and Trevor at the end of season 2, they just leave Alucard.
Yeah,
they go, okay, we're gonna go on an adventure, and Alucard's like, okay, cool, I'll talk to you later.
Yeah,
And he's
Alucard,
like trying to figure out his castle.
Well, Alucard pretty much at first Alucard was gonna go with Trevor and Sypha, but then he realized that like all Dracula's documents and like all his books were in the castle, and it's pretty much like a graveyard to be robbed and everything. So he felt the need to protect it. So, and that's when Trevor told Alucard, well, not only do you have your father's years of works, but you also have mine. So I'm giving it
because
to you.
the Belmont hole was like literally right next to the.
Yeah, because when Sypha teleported the Dracula's castle, she brought it to where they were, where they were in the Belmont hold.
Yeah, didn't she make it like land on top of it or something?
Literally on top of it. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
They pretty much Gurren Lagann that shit. Just transform it, just combine
kind of,
them.
but it's still
just
standing.
Voltron.
They Voltroned up.
Howl's moving castle Voltron. Pretty much.
Alucard
so
is
then,
trying to find like companionship with those two weirdos.
I mean, he wasn't gonna, but like,
He's
right away,
trying to find like trainees and stuff or servants or whatever.
Well, no. I mean, okay, so Trevor and Sypha go off and do whatever, and then they land in Lendenfell and decide to stay there and help the town, which we find out later was a mistake. That's what they do. That's their whole story arc. Then Hector is like mad that, or not Hector, but Isaac is mad that Hector betrayed betrayed him and whatever, betrayed Dracula. So he's gonna go kill Hector, but the sisters' council has Hector, so he has to go there to their castle and go do their thing. Hector is pretty much being held prisoner by the sisters, and they're trying to use Hector to
Carmilla.
Yeah, and they're going to use Hector to be a devil forge master and make more night creatures and take over half of the country.
Yeah, they're trying to make a what do you call it? Like a stockpile of humans.
Yeah, they basically want to make a huge human farm.
They're trying to surround human farm. They're trying to surround an area and just feed off of humans.
And control like all the humans and shit, yeah. And then you have Alucard's story, which is basically him at the castle the whole time. And then these two Japanese warriors, Sumi and Taka, find him, and they're like, "Oh, you're the great Alucard or whatever." And he was like, "What the fuck do you guys want?" And they're like, "There's a vampire that lives in our country, and she's basically taken over the whole region, and she just uses humans for flesh and fun and whatever. Like, it's horrible. So we want you to teach us the ways of the vampire killer or whatever, because you're the one who, you're a vampire and you're the great Alucard, whatever." And Alucard, right at the beginning of the first episode, he's talking to two dolls he made, one of Trevor and one of Sypha. And he's like, that's when he discovers he's kind of going insane from loneliness.
He even said it out loud. He's like, "Shit, I'm literally going nuts right now."
Yeah, and he was like pretending to be them, and he's like, "Well, I'm Trevor, and all I want to do is drink beer, and I'm a dummy, and blah blah blah, and Alucard is a butthole." And then he pretends to be Sypha, and she's like, "Well, Trevor, you're such a drunk, and I'm Sypha, and I know everything, and blah, blah, blah," and all this stuff. And he's like, "All right, I'm going nuts." But yeah, like that's basically it. And basically you're just following Alucard teach these two kids, these aspiring vampire hunters, to fight Cho, the vampire who rules over Japan. And then that turns into some shit. And then, but yeah, basically what Nick said is this season pretty much took 10 episodes to set up what's coming. And what's coming is Carmilla, Lenore, Strika, and Marana. The Sisters Council, the Vampire Sisters Council. They're going to unleash their shit on half of the damn country. Strilia, I think that's what it's called. And
that sounds familiar. No, I think that was Darling in the Franxx.
Strelitzia, yeah. Starling
Gundam or something, yeah.
It's Gundam, dude. It's friggin' long name.
Straya.
Char, long name, Red Comet Asnable.
My butt's on fire, Kingdom.
My butt's on fire, Kingdom. Yeah, dude. So, I mean, basically what Nick said, it's a setup for that coming catastrophe, because we all know that's what's going to happen. And then I'm sure Alucard's going to sense it, and he's going to be like, shit, we're going to go kill these bitches. And then, yeah. So pretty much it's taking its own kind of path now. What I thought was goofy about it, though, was because I thought they were all going to meet at the end somehow, like, or halfway through and be like, okay, shit, let's deal with this new shit.
Oh, like Trevor and Sypha and Alucard? I
thought the setup was going to be like the first 6 episodes, and then the last 4 were going to be like, okay, now we got to go to Alucard and go fight each other, go fight the bitches.
Yeah.
And yeah, like, but they took every episode to just set it up.
But even like Trevor and Sypha had no idea what the fuck Carmilla was doing. Like,
nobody knew
of it. Nobody has any knowledge of that.
Yeah, none of these groups have met up yet.
Yeah, no, not at all. Except Isaac somewhat knows a little bit. Like, he has an idea that they took Hector to use him.
Yeah.
But that's it, because he used the mirror, the I forgot what the mirror was called, but the mirror that you used to see everything. Mm-hmm. He saw them taking Hector and keeping him prisoner, so he was like, okay, well, if that's where they are, then I'm going to go there, because I'm finna kill him, I'm finna kill Carmilla, because they all betrayed Dracula, and my allegiance is Dracula. Fuck all humans, y'all trash. Which is like, I kind of agree. But anyway. No, I thought it was that's basically my thought. It was enjoyable but goofy, but like there were some things in there that were nods to the games. But what did you guys think? I kind of talked forever there. How do you guys feel?
I've only played a part of one of the games. So you guys know more than I do.
To be fair, you would not have need to play the games to understand any of this.
I mean,
but yeah.
I've never played any of the games, but I know, like, my friend Richard has played the games, so I haven't actually gotten his opinion on the 3rd season yet. But what I've gotten out of it, especially the 3rd season, I mean, I enjoyed it. However, when I was watching the 3rd season, I kind of paused for a second and said, wait, let me, like, backtrack myself and rewatch the first 2 seasons so my memory is a little bit more fresh, because it has been a really long time since the 2nd season came out.
Yeah, when it's Netflix shit like this, it comes out by the year. It's like, yeah. So,
but I did manage to actually finish the whole entire series as a whole. But I normally, so when they have like 4 different stories going on at the same time, I normally don't like that kind of thing, because it just confuses me sometimes. However, I didn't mind how they did it for this season.
No, yeah, and I think that all 4 stories equally got like enough screen time.
Yeah, and
I thought it was pretty decent the way they did it. Yeah,
that's what I was a little concerned about. Like, oh no, why? Like, who's going to have less screen time and everything like that? So I was a little concerned on screen time for certain characters and everything. But they actually did a pretty decent job with that. So, I definitely had a lot of sympathy for Alucard, especially because he's in like that huge fucking castle all by himself.
Right.
Like, not even like a familiar or anything like that. He has literally nobody. So, and that's just like,
hey, he's kind of like everybody in real life now. He's quarantined in that castle.
Yes.
Hiding in the bunker.
But he's like, he gets so lonely that like when these two
So Ronri.
these two hunters, they're like, oh, show us the way and everything, and they like start having fun with him training, and they're like playing around, and he cooks them food and whatever. I'm like thinking the whole time, like, man, like he's having these guys are doing really good right now. Like everyone else is doing some sketchy
you could tell
shit.
right
like
away
Hector's,
that those two were sketchy, though.
I did not.
Yeah,
Are you
that
serious?
was like
They were.
a
Oh
turn
man.
for me. The judge actually,
was so
I kind of
obvious.
knew. I knew it was really obvious. The judge, for sure.
The judge in Trevor and Sypha's story,
Yeah.
yeah.
Is that the bald guy?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm gonna have to.
But no,
rewatch
like
this.
I thought maybe, okay, here's what I
I
thought.
blasted through it in a delirium.
I thought maybe like Alucard training the two, Sumi and Taka, like I thought he was going to train them. They were going to become like good vampire hunters. They were going to go back to Japan and do what they needed to do, and they were going to come back in season 4 and help out and be awesome. Like that's what
Yeah,
I
that's what
literally
I
thought
thought.
was going to happen.
Yeah.
But that's not what happened.
I like
Yeah.
it better how
honestly,
it happened.
honestly,
I
I
like
kinda-
the.
I did like the turn at the end, and the ending of that. I was just like, I was slightly satisfied, and I was really glad that it shocked me like that. I didn't expect that to happen.
As soon as they came in the room, like all
Seductive like.
all seductive like, I was like, oh, wait a sec.
Yeah, I was
because
like,
it was
oh fuck.
it was showing that as Lenore and Hector were like getting tender.
Yeah.
And as Trevor and Sypha were about to raid the Priory, and with the judge and his army, and then as Isaac was reaching the top of the tower with the fucking crazy Christian guy and everything, and I was like, okay, hold on, someone's gonna orgasm, but it's not gonna be Alucard. Like,
I was
it's
kind of hoping
like-
they'd do a match shot, like right as somebody came, it would be like somebody's head getting chopped off. Just cut to that.
like school days, like
Yeah.
but like no fucking no, yeah, no, for real. I actually dig that a little bit. I was like, oh man, fuck these kids, like, and it kind of now Alucard might be a problem in season 4. He might be fucking jaded as fuck now.
Yeah, people
like,
are speculating that he could be like the villain.
yeah, he might
Was he
start
a villain in
adopting
one of the video
like,
games? He was a playable character, right?
He was playable, and yeah, he's originally a playable character. I'm trying to think of a time where you fight against him, but he's never really been a villain, a full-on villain in any of the games. But
All I know is
he was
something Symphony of the Night.
Symphony. He's the main
That's the
character
name
you play
that I
in
know. That's like the popular
He's
one.
the main character you play in Symphony of the Night, which I actually have the PSP version of it, that's a great game. But that's basically that's like, I don't even know, dude. 50 years later or something like that. 1790. Oh no, it's literally 300 years after. Yeah, that's 300 years later. But anyway, yeah, no. So now that might set it up for him to be, he might be a problem in season 4. Basically, if this is its own thing now. I'm treating it as like the Netflix timeline is what I would call it. And Nick posted a pretty good video of it on YouTube.
It's
from
Channel Frederator.
Channel Frederator.
Pretty popular. There's
Which-
like 2 million subs.
Aren't they the same guys who own Frederator Studios? Yeah, they are.
Probably. Yeah, that would make sense to me. But
Yeah.
there's a bunch of good reviews on YouTube, or a bunch of like little 5-minute reactions.
Yeah. So
But the timeline video is a good idea to watch.
Yeah, that's more of the Netflix timeline, which will make sense, which is kind of cool. And you know what? That's kind of awesome. Then we can have like an expanded Castlevania universe, which I wouldn't mind, because they've already kind of done that with the games, with the Lords of Shadow games that came out like in 2014. That's basically a whole new Castlevania timeline by itself. But yeah, like that being said, actually, before I give my final opinion, we haven't even talked about the animation or the music. The animation was on par with the other seasons, I think. Like,
I'd have to rewatch them. Danny, you rewatched it.
There was they used a little bit more CG in the 3rd season than they did with the previous seasons. Especially with Sypha flying in the air and stuff. It's barely noticeable, but you can you definitely can notice it.
Yeah, it felt really choppy in this
It
third
was
season.
slightly choppy.
It feels like they took a lot of shortcuts and like only animated every third frame or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they did the battle scenes, they put all like the animation chops into the
they
battle
did the
scenes.
Sakuga for that. This is
Yeah.
like an American studio, I think. Or it was like
Yeah.
a bunch of studios, but I think primarily one from America.
Yeah. In season 2, they had some animators from Madhouse working on it. But yeah,
Well, that's how pretty much every project goes. They just get a bunch of mercenaries.
But for the most part, this is an American animation studio. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It felt a little bit stilted as far as the animation, and also the dialogue too kind of added into that. I don't know if it was just me, but it felt like the dialogue was a little bit stiff. I didn't necessarily have a problem with what they were saying, but it was just like, oh, they talked a little slower than I thought they would. It wasn't like as like flowing as as like a regular TV show. But it's based off a video game, so maybe they were going for that type of feel.
Gotcha. The Powerhouse Studios, they are also doing or they did Seis Manos, which was that American anime Netflix series with like these Hispanic martial artists, which is badass, by the way. Which I've heard from people that it's pretty good. We can talk about that later. But that's the same studio. I don't know. Yeah, no, I agree with Nick for the most part. Because, like, if you think of, like... Because they tried to base... And we've said this on the other reviews. They tried to base the artwork that was the artwork used... The art style used in Symphony of the Night. And they kind of based it off of that. But, like, the way it was animated was just, like...
Yeah, and to be fair, like, the more complicated the character design, the harder it is to animate.
Sure.
Or, like, the more time it takes to animate, I should say. So...
No. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, that's why something like a lot of the Masaki Yuasa shows have like very simple character designs, but they flow like really well. Whereas this one, it's like very complicated and it's choppier.
Right.
That's more of the Japanese style, because like, the original animation way back in the day, like in the 50s and all that, with those classic cartoons in America, all that stuff was animated like almost frame by frame, or close to it. It was very smooth. So, but Japan invented the thing. They're like, well, fuck, we don't have time for that. We're just gonna do every third or every second frame.
And that's anime, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
but yeah, no, you're absolutely
right. It's kind
right.
of a stylistic thing, but it's a budget thing too. So
if you watch like the OG Disney stuff or the OG like Hanna-Barbera, Tom and Jerry, like it.
Yeah, like Tom and Jerry. They're what's the word for it? There's a word for it where like they're like very elastic.
Yeah, very smooth, brushed, kinda. And then when Chuck Jones got really big, that was a little bit more skippy, staticky. But in terms of like quote unquote American anime, though, right? If you want to call it that, Avatar has done way much better. Like if you like, that's what I compare to. Just
I'm
because
curious
I
on
think
the
it's
budget for this compared to Avatar.
Honestly, yeah, no, for real.
Well,
We
budget
should look that
plus
up.
like team, like talent.
Right, but like if and I only say that especially with Sypha, because like Sypha's a fucking avatar. Okay, that's exactly what she is. She fucking is like flying around with fire.
After watching the series as a whole, Sypha just gets better and better after each season. Like,
yeah, she's cool.
In season 3, she is a definite badass, and she knows it, and she makes sure that
she has the
all
best
characters,
action scenes.
Out of all the characters in there, whenever she meets a new character and like they realize, oh, you're a speaker magician, she's like, fuck yeah, I'm a speaker magician. Look at this shit. She
Dude,
blows shit up.
Every time she slits throats with her icicles, it's like, oh, nut.
Yeah, slice that bitch's throat. Oh. And then like it's really cool too, because like she doesn't know how to use lightning properly, but then like at the end she like figures a way to do it, and like thinking really quick. You know what I mean? She's like, "Fuck, I need to do this," because like.
And when she was falling out of the sky too, she just like automatically, oh, I'll just use my fucking fire shit out of my hands, and I'll just hover over everything.
Fire shit out of my hand.
Yeah, she Bakugo'd that shit, dude.
Yeah.
Except she wasn't screaming.
Oh,
the
I know
whole
how
time.
I know how to win. I'll just shit fire out of my hands. Fucking Danny, dude. Yeah, nah, like, and I thought, and obviously, like, I'm curious about the budget too, but they obviously they put all the, like Nick said, they put all the Sakuga, quote unquote, into the battle scenes, and those battle scenes were fucking amazing. But it's just like,
yeah, I would say they
every other
weren't quite
part,
as
it
good
was
as
like-
season 2. I think.
no,
At least
yeah,
like the
no,
very last episode of season 2.
the final fight in season 2 when they raid Dracula's castle.
Oh yeah.
Because that also
Oh,
had the
man.
Castlevania theme too.
That had Bloody Tears playing, yeah, when they raided it, yeah. That was when Sypha, like, makes the ice wall and, like,
Oh,
like
that's my favorite
turn-
scene.
turns it upwards
Yeah.
and then slices Homeboy in half.
Although it was cool in this season when she was slicing up those church monsters. She just like completely what do you call it? Chopped up every single limb.
Oh, yeah,
the
dude.
floating
Oh, yeah, she
angel
used the
thing.
ice shields that she made for Saint Germain.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And as she was flying in the air, she just lifted them up because the
Dismembered,
monster didn't
that's
know
the
they were
word.
down there. Yeah, no, Sypha's badass. Like, I don't know. She kind of stole that battle for me. Like, Trevor is cool, but, like, Sypha legit stole that.
I do like Trevor's new design, like his armor and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, that was a definite upgrade. I'm curious on how the fuck he got it though. I'm like, where the fuck did this come from?
Probably just along his travels, I guess. I don't know. Like, because, like, how,
Yeah, but it
how
has
long
the
is...
Belmont sigil on it.
I have no idea. This is like... How long is this set after season 2?
I think it's pretty soon after.
I want to say maybe like 3 months or something like that.
Yeah, it's relatively soon. Because Isaac
Oh, man,
is
we
still
got
on the
season
run.
2 in 2018? Holy shit, it's
I
been
think
that long
in season
already?
2, Carmela was talking about making the farm, the human farm.
Yeah, she was in the works like after they.
Oh, that's right. Because she said she was traveling for like 3 months or
Yeah,
something.
mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's why this season felt a little bit slow because they didn't actually get to like the part where they started the human farm, and
Right. That's because that's what I thought was going to happen.
yeah,
I thought that was going to be the big antag at the
I
end.
mean
the
a
big
lot of
battle at
stuff
the
happened,
end.
but yet not that much happened.
Right. Instead of doing that, they used the whole season for a setup. Instead of doing like, okay, the first 6 episodes we're gonna do this, and then the last 4 episodes is when they all kind of congregate together.
I
to go
actually
against
don't mind it
Sisters
though
Council.
because it didn't seem rushed.
No, yeah, and there were still big climaxes for each thing at the
Yeah.
end, but Hector's thing, or not Hector, but Isaac's thing seemed out of place. Isaac's story seemed.
Isaac is dumb. He's stupid.
I love his accent. Who's the voice actor for him? It's like an actual like.
Wow, you can't even
Adeto Combo
pronounce.
McCormick.
Yeah, he
Adeto
sounds like
Combo
a
McCormick. Yeah.
dude. That
He's a-
his voice acting is really good. I love that though.
Yeah, he's a Leon Creole voice actor, and then the captain was also played by.
Yeah. Whenever you have like that deep African sounding accent or like whatever region of Africa that's from, I just love that.
yeah,
It always
dude,
sounds so
it was-
mystical, and it's like, oh shit, something's going down, dude.
It was cool, yeah. I like it a lot. I love the way Isaac is portrayed in the series. I think he's fucking awesome, dude. But yeah, I thought his story was a little bit more out of place than the other 3, even though
He was
his
just
and
whining
Hector's are somewhat
about
connected.
like he literally was just whining about the human race. And
Yeah, that's
Well,
the
I
one
mean,
thing that
he's-
bothers me is like he wants to eliminate the human race, and he's a human. Like the vampires, I can understand. Like their motives make sense. Everybody else's motives make sense, but Isaac is just like, what the fuck, dude? Traitor.
traitor.
But it looks like he's like slowly changing his mind. Like the captain kind of.
well, because
on
the
his good
captain
side.
kind of persuaded him because he said, well, like, you say that you want to eliminate the human race and everything because of bad people and how they treat you and everything. But what happens when you eliminate the entire race and there's no like gifts or surprises or anything like that? When you eliminate everybody. So the captain kind of like planted that seed into Isaac, saying, not all people are bad. And then he meets that witch, Miranda, to help him into that Christian sorcerer temple thing, whatever. So
Right.
he's slowly getting there, but he's still all like, I want to kill all the humans.
Yeah. It just seemed a little out of place. It just seemed like I could have done without that. It could have just been, we know Isaac's on the way to Hector and that's it.
Right.
Like, we don't need all this extra.
Yeah, I feel that.
It just seemed like.
I mean, I think they.
But I think they wanted to build him up more.
The way this was directed was, it was pretty base. I can't think of words right now. It was kind of like a basic style of directing. I think they could have made all these stories work if they wove them together well enough, but it was just a little bit disjointed.
I agree. That's definitely how it felt. Because even though, like, I agree with Danny, like, that it was still done pretty well because, like, there was equal screen time and it was cool, but, like, it still felt at the end of it all disjointed a little bit.
It wasn't as confusing as watching The Witcher, which is also on Netflix.
The Witcher?
And that's based off a video game. But weirdly enough, like, that was still a very enjoyable
based
show.
Off books.
Well, okay, books, video game. Yeah, it actually
Fucking Danny. Well, actually.
based off of both, okay? But, yeah, so, like, at least they weren't time jumping.
Yeah, I think The Witcher is more of a direct kind of thing. And this is like, because Castlevania 3's story, back in the day when you played Nintendo games, man, the story wasn't all spelled out for you like it is in video games today. You know what I mean? Mm. So, like, so here's what I gotta say about it, okay?
Say it, Sam.
I didn't think they were gonna kill Dracula right away. I thought it was going to be like this. When they announced the Castlevania series, and then they said that the hero was going to be Trevor Belmont, I was like, oh, okay, we got young Trev. So we're going to do Castlevania 3. That's legit. I thought they were going to spend like 1 to 2 seasons, maybe 3, with Trevor's story and how he fights Dracula with Alucard and Sypha. And then I thought season 4, 5, and 6, or 4 and 5, or whatever, was going to be like, okay, here's Simon Belmont. But now it doesn't seem like that's what it is.
Yeah.
Now it's just its own Netflix universe, Netflix timeline. We have Sypha, Trevor, and Alucard. Here's the characters we're following. That's it. And we're gonna keep going along this way until it's whatever. But I thought that they were gonna kind of be smart and do like an anthology thing, and I that would have been the path I would have taken if I was the showrunner. But I guess and there's nothing wrong with the way they're doing it now. Don't get me wrong. I think it's cool. I still love the on-screen versions of these characters are great still. I think they're great.
Yeah, it's a pretty easy watch. It's enjoyable.
Yeah, but like that's just initially how I thought they were going to do it. But obviously when you adapt something, it doesn't have to be 100%. It's never going to be 100% the thing. With the exceptions of a few. Like I heard The Witcher is actually pretty dead on, which is awesome because a lot of people like The Witcher as it is. So, but no, I mean, I like Trevor. Trevor Belmont is what's great about following him is that he's one of the most jaded of the Belmont clan because his whole family died, like before he's on his own. You know what I mean? So like that it was kind of cool that they followed him instead. But yeah, I would not mind seeing like if they did it where maybe they did another Castlevania series like on its own, and it was about Simon or Soleil or Christopher or Richter. You know what I mean? Like that would be cool. Or if they did it 300 years later. Here's what they could do. They could take Alucard the way he is, right, and do a Symphony of the Night adaptation or a Netflix movie or something. You know what I mean? Like
something
that would be cool.
Candid or something, non-candid.
What do you mean?
Like, not candid, canon.
God damn it.
Whoops.
Cinematography.
Listen, it's 11 o'clock over by me. Okay.
I really think if James Camry directed the next Castlevania series with the right cinematography and he did it candid, it would be great.
He's on candid camera.
And then you just have a high climate, it would be the perfect story.
Oh, I forgot about that one. High climate. That sounds like what's going to burn us all alive.
Don't forget he needs some backflashes in there too.
Oh, God, backflash.
They could have a backflash of, Trevor.
And Leon. Don't forget about Leon.
Leon Belmont, yeah.
Oh,
That's fucking funny, man. God damn it. Okay. No, anyway. You know what? If this is a setup for something that's going to be awesome in season 4, then I can't wait. I'm excited. It's enjoyable. Like I'm with Nick on that. It's pretty enjoyable, easy watch. There are parts where they do talk a lot. It's a little slow, but that's like part of the build up. Obviously, with season 1, it was the same way. Even though it was only 4 episodes, there was a lot of talking, building up. So I assume season 4 is going to be fire. We'll see. So, what do you guys score it?
I'm going to give it one lower than season 2. I think I'll give it like a light 6. Maybe a strong 5, light 6. I would say it's above average, but not mind-blowing. Season 2, I really did enjoy season 2 a lot. I do want to go back and rewatch all of that. And I like the very beginning with season 1 as well, where like Dracula's origins were shown. I just didn't feel like there were enough directorial flares. Like all I really care about when I watch shows is like how aesthetic the directing is. Fuck themes. I don't care about that shit. I'm just gonna be honest. Dude, just give me a good soundtrack and give me some cool looking scenes. Okay? That's all I need.
I'm gonna give it 6 cracks of the whip out of 10. Whoopsh.
Oh, what would mine be? Mine would be 6 vampire blowjobs out of 10.
Nice, dude. Oh, sorry. Vampire killer cracks, because that's what the whip is called. It's called the vampire killer. Whoosh. What about you, Danny?
I'd probably give it a 7 out of
7 what? 7 backflashes or what?
Fuck you. 7 icicle dart things that
All right.
sci-fi uses.
Good enough.
Icicle dart things that Sypha uses out of 10.
Mine was best, dude. I'd take 6 vampire blowjobs over 7 icicles.
You're just like, watch the teeth.
Dude, that makes it exciting. You never know.
That makes it exciting. You're living on the edge. Oh. Yeah, dude. Castlevania Season 3. Did you watch it? Let me know. I'll tell you what one of my favorite parts is, besides all the sex scenes, is the Priory when they go into that fucking hell cultist.
Wait, how are you
church.
spelling Priory? Is this prairie or what?
No, Priary. Priory.
Oh, okay. What is that? That's like the church, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the church.
The church.
The
Okay.
church. The church.
I thought you were mispronouncing prairie the whole time. I'm like, wait, where were they in a prairie?
No, the Priory.
Priory.
We're going into the Priory. But no, they're so messed up and brainwashed
Oh my God,
by
they are so
by
brainwashed.
hell
Yeah.
that they have like a designated poop corner. And you could see it, and it was just so gross. It's fucking nasty. Which is hilarious. Because, like, okay, so, like, they have the poop corner, right? And Saint Germain, he's, like, this wise knowledge magician guy who's traveled the world. And there's a part where the judge is like, oh, I saw you were drinking with the Belmont last night. And he was like, yeah, he wanted to meet someone famous, someone who's seen toilet paper. And the judge goes, what the fuck is toilet paper?
Yeah, I missed that scene somehow. I saw all the screen caps though, but it's like,
Yeah.
what
What's
better
the
time to have
toilet
to
paper?
have that meme right now? Perfect timing for
It's
that.
it's weird because it's supposed to take place. At least I don't know when the Netflix series. I don't know when the Netflix series takes place, but technically, Curse of Darkness takes place in fucking the 1400s. So it's like, you know, I didn't know toilet paper was around then. I don't think it is. Is it?
I don't
That's a
know.
good question.
least if
I'm
it
not a
was, it was a-
historian, so
At least if it was a luxury. I guess maybe that's why. I don't know.
I think.
But-
I mean, what did people do? I think they used like hay or their hand or something.
Be a man. Use your hand.
I mean, really, the best way is bidet, like just splashing water. That's the cleanest and best way.
Yeah. Give your butthole bob and splash. Be done.
That's what we've been be needing if people keep fucking storing and buying toilet paper.
Yeah, that is the weirdest thing to stockpile. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Unless you have like, what is it, Crohn's disease or something, or you're just shitting yourself every day. Like,
Right. Yeah. Like, how much are you shitting?
yeah.
You know.
Anyway,
But I do understand that too. There's families out there with tons of people. But anyway,
it's all those
um,
girls. They just hog all that toilet paper. Like, I don't understand.
that's just not correct.
That is.
Like,
that is
Danny probably
that-
uses like 5 squares, every 5 seconds. Every 5 seconds, a
Squares.
square is used.
No, that's probably you.
Squares.
'Cause
Just
you're-
all
because
the, all
you're
the squares.
Why
all
don't
the
girls?
time.
Why don't girls just let it drip? Just let it drip.
All the squares.
Just
squares.
burn a hole through your underwear. It's fine.
Burn a hole through your underwear.
That
You
actually
heard it here
happens,
from
right?
Nick. Actual life advice
doesn't
from
your
Nick
underwear?
right now.
Doesn't girls' underwear just like the acid just like disintegrates it eventually?
What is your problem?
What are you talking about?
Like, what is your
Dude,
deal?
look it up. Trust me.
Dude, it's real. Look it up.
I've been on Twitter a lot. Okay, I know.
Yeah, I think you've been on
Dude,
Twitter
look.
for too long.
Yeah, I've been. Yeah, I need to cut back on that.
I'm
You
actually
need to
kind of
watch
glad
some
that I stopped
anime.
using it. Yeah,
Yeah, no
I,
shit.
I'm kind of glad that I stopped using Twitter. To be honest, I fucking hate it now. Like it's
Yeah, you just gotta
I tried
follow
going-
and unfollow the right people, or whatever you're trying to do. Just cut out the
I-
negativity.
yeah. I tried going back to look at some stuff, and I was like, this is terrible. This is god awful. I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
SpongeBob meme. Alright, I'm gonna head out.
Well, that's kind of
no,
the best
let us-
part, though. You get those SpongeBob memes. So
You get all the SpongeBob memes. That's right. You know what? Let us know what you thought of Castlevania 3. Also, if you're a big Castlevania fan like me, let's talk about Castlevania because I love Castlevania.
yeah, I really love the
thought-
aesthetic and style of it. I wish they would have done it more like Vampire D Bloodlust.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that movie was like insanely animated. There's no way they could do a TV show like that, but goddamn, that was fucking sweet.
God damn, dude. Yeah, let us know what you think. Let's talk Castlevania. You want to talk Castlevania with me? I'll talk Castlevania with you. We'll talk Castlevania. I love Castlevania. I love anything Metroidvania, especially Metroid and Castlevania. So, like, holla at your girl, all right? That being said, I'm Sam. That's Danny. That's Nick, the vampire killer. And we've been the Anime